Hashtag worth it. So, okay, this is, and this is the vocal techniques class. Why can't I see anyone? Oh, there you are. Okay. So we miss you, Pam and Dwight. We're so sad you're not here, but we'll see you next time. So the Siren is another exercise that I would like us to do. And if you look at the Google Doc after class, you can see I put here like what we're going to do for the warm-ups. So the Siren is the second thing on the list. That is a great exercise to use to alternate between each of the exercises in our green book. So particularly because you're supposed to be learning how to slide in the program we're working on right now, program number 1, which is the warm-ups for all voices. And sliding, you can think of it kind of like walking up a ramp as opposed to walking upstairs. Like when you're at the mall, you know, I always take the ramp because it doesn't hurt my knees as much as the stairs. And you can think of it like for your vocal folds too. It's a more gentle, easier way of adjusting as opposed to leaping, right? And so slides are a really great way to warm up. So a slide is like this on the piano. Like in instrumental music, a slide is called a glissando a lot of times. So you're hitting all the pitches between the beginning and destination pitch instead of ooh, ooh, and sliding down. It's like ooh, right? So a siren is just sliding from the very bottom of your range to the very top of your range and then back down again. Most people call it a siren. Probably we've done it in your private lessons at some point before. So we'll want to make a nice deep breath. You can like put your hands on your tummy if you want so we can feel our abdominal wall muscles release into our hands. And then we will open our mouths into a yawn shaped inhale like this. And then we'll bring our corners together, teeth apart into an ooh vowel. And we'll just ooh. And so at the bottom of your range, you'll hear this sound, which is called vocal fry. We want to stop right before we get to vocal fry, but go to the lowest pitch you can hit before the vocal fry, which you might have to experiment with a little bit before you can find it. And as you ascend, especially a female singer, you will have to, and you should, adjust your vowel shape to be more open. You can switch to an or an ah or whatever you would like that is open as you go higher because you need more space for the high notes. So you don't have to like keep the ooh perfectly precise as you go all the way up. And if you have a really big range or not a lot of air capacity so far and you need to stop and take a breath, stop and take a breath. But the goal would be eventually one breath for your whole range. And you probably can hear that you have a little bit of a bump on the way up and then the same bump on the way down. Did everybody feel that? So that is, well, this is a little bit controversial. Not all voice teachers have the same opinion about this, but I'm going to tell you my opinion because I'm the one teaching the class. So you're welcome. The most people conceive of the voice as being two parts: the high part and the low part, upper register, lower register, or head voice and chest voice. Those names all mean the same thing. And so usually we hear this bump at first, getting from one to the other or back down again. And we want to learn to blend the two registers. So we can't hear where the one register ends and the other begins. And we just have one smooth line. As opposed to ooh, 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 like where you feel like a really big, like, whoa, that was a big change. We want to hear blend, 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 blend. And if you feel, you could probably anticipate like, oh, that bump is coming up, right? The register break is coming up. So we want to slow down and lighten our volume and lighten our tone when we can anticipate the register break is coming. That's how we can blend. That part there in the middle is called the passaggio, which is an Italian word that means passageway. So that's just like a word to describe the idea that you have to transition between registers. In contemporary voice, a lot of times people will call that your mixed voice register. So let's try one more siren, releasing down into our tummies. Of course, that's not really, you can actually breathe into your tummy, but that's what it will feel like. Open your mouth to inhale. Pretty clear? You hit vocal fry?
I did.
Yeah. Just, over time, try to get better about not hitting the vocal fry. So that slide, that giant slide we just did, is a big version of what we have to do in these first exercises. The line connecting the note heads is another way of indicating slide. You also can see in the title of the exercise, these exercises are called various types of slides. So try to remember how the going up and the going down slide felt on the siren, and alternating between the exercises with the siren will help your brain remember what to do. This exercise, we just have to do a descending slide, so that's a little bit easier at least. Let's give it a try, and you'll have a repeat, so you'll sing each syllable 6 times, and then we move on to a new one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Better after doing the siren. Good job, everybody. Questions about that exercise? Okay, so we can turn the page and let's try one of our breathing exercises before we do another siren. So this is called the candle blow. If you want to put your hands on your tummy, or one hand on your tummy and one hand on your chest, you can. We want to open the front of our mouths, open the back of our mouths, like we're yawning, and then open your throat. And as a result of all the openness, the air should rush inside of you, and your tummy, if you're just able to relax your abdominal wall muscles, will pop out a little bit. And then we can gently contract these muscles to blow the air out like we're blowing out a candle across the room, kind of forcefully. And so you can practice exactly the same shapes we need to make with our abdominal muscles and our mouth muscles for the siren exercise, because we are open into an ah vowel to inhale, and then making the smaller oo shape for the exhale. Just think of always trying to bring your corners together and separate your teeth for this, and try to keep the expansion in the back of your mouth while you're exhaling, which is the hard part. It's easier to open to inhale, but it's harder to keep the space while you exhale. So let's try a couple candle blows and release to inhale. And we should hear either a low-pitched or a silent inhale as opposed to a high-pitched inhale, which indicates constriction in our pipe. And that is the opposite of what we're hoping for. Let's try one more. Candle blow. Aiming to keep the stretched open expansion in the back of your throat as you exhale. You might want to take a drink. We always, I don't know if I put this in the class notes, but you should always bring water, the green book and the blue book to your class because you'll need to drink water. Not just at class, all the time as a singer, of course. But the breathing exercises will dry out your mucosal membrane, unfortunately. It's unavoidable. And now let's try a siren. So if I had no sound and I made a recording of this, the siren would look pretty much the same as the candle blow breathing exercise, right? So let's try inhaling the same ways we did for the candle blow, but we'll phonate instead of exhaling. Great, and then we'll go on to exercise 4, which is not a slide, but you're stepping and you breathe on a quarter rests again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh, your tone quality is sounding smoother after the breathing exercise, everyone. Any questions about that exercise, which ends very abruptly? No questions?
Nope.
Good. So let's try another siren. And then we'll go on to the pop rock slide. You're supposed to try to breathe at the beginning and not breathe till you get to the half rest at the end of the first line, and then sing the whole second half of the exercise without taking another breath. This is an inverted scale, which means we start high, go low, and then start low and go high. Instead of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, where you start low, go up, and then come back down again. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So don't feel bad if you miss the beginning note of either of the phrases, because usually people want to do the opposite and start low and go high, and then start high and go low.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This one goes all the way to a high F. So if it gets too high, you can drop an octave lower if you need to. And you can adjust your vowel to be taller for the high notes, just like with the siren. break between the registers like that.
I did.
It's a hard one, so while we're first learning these, just, do what you have to do to get through it. And, I think you know what the end goal is, and so we're working towards having a smooth connection between registers, but we may not be able to blend perfectly just yet, which is fine. This next exercise, they want a little scoop. That's what these little sort of smiley face looking deals under the note heads indicate. So, I'm exaggerating a little bit. You don't have to do as much of a scoop, but so you start underneath the pitch and slide up very quickly to the goal pitch. It's you breathe in between each repetition on the half rests, so you get a lot of times to breathe at least. This exercise goes lower than any of the other exercises, so if the last couple of repetitions feel uncomfortably low for you, you can do the opposite of the previous exercise and go up an octave higher, or if you need to drop out and not sing some of the pitches, like, no shame. A flat is very low feeling sometimes. And before we do this one though, let's do a couple of candle blows, release to inhale. And this time without me, just whenever you want to start. We don't have to start and end at the same time, but everybody try a siren. All right, and let's try gospel swing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It just always feels like, going to the basement or something, at least to me. So let's turn the page again. This is the last exercise. So this one goes highest of all the exercises, all the way up to a high A. And so Isla, a male singer, will be demonstrating, so you'll have to sing an octave higher than him. But if the ending repetitions get too high, you can just sing with the male singer. Because after a few repetitions, he's like pretty high, so it won't be too low for you to sing on. Yeah, so you two, if you need to, you should be okay, Anthony, I think. because you have two not the same voice types. But you could drop an octave lower than the male demonstrator if you need to as you go. But you should be okay to sing with him at the beginning at least.
Yeah.
But you might be able. You could try, and if it gets uncomfortable, just drop down. It'll be okay. I can't remember how far you went, but if you bring your journal next week, we'll check so this is another slide, as you can see by the lines and the name of the exercise, and you alternate between lip trills and oohs. So before we do it, can everybody take a nice deep breath and do one siren, and then I'll push play. It's okay.
I felt it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like right before you think you're to the bottom.
Yeah.
So let's try number 7. Oh, before I forget, I'm sorry, Arla, I probably said this to you last time, but just in case, because since this is a new book to both of you, Anthony and Ken, the first track is track 1, which is just talking, describing what you're going to be doing. So the first exercise is track 2, which is just like the purple book. So I put exercises 2 through 7, but really I think it's like 1 through 6, but it's just hard for me to remember to push the right track number otherwise. So listen to track 1 like one time and read all the descriptions so you understand the purpose of the exercises, and we don't have to like take time in class to do it.
Okay.
But when you're singing, and the download code will be in the beginning of the book right here. So if you should already have My Library with Hall Leonard, so just add this book to your My Library, download the tracks, and you can play them from your phone or whatever device you like to play your cloud from, and this is where you'll stop. So you'll do tracks 2 through 7, but in the notes it says exercises 2 through 7. I use them as if they are the same numbers, but yeah, it can be confusing. Here we go. A whole octave to slide. It's very big.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. Right up your head, boys. And remember, we're breathing just like the candle blow between each exercise. That's where we can stop. Now, did you have a chance to read chunk around this week in the green book?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay, well that's perfect actually, because they wouldn't have been able to. So let's just say the assignment that is me doing box 3, providing accountability for last week's assignments. No problem. So we'll say this week for like the whole group assignments. Let's see, I probably just could copy and paste. Let me do it on here. So everybody, and if you want to write it in your journal, if you have your journal with you, we'll do 5 days of 20 minutes is the goal. So that means if you can go through this workout 5 times between now and the next class, that would be succeeding at reaching the goal. And if you do not, that's okay, but that would be the goal. And that's in the Google Doc. I'm writing this too, and so like you can see, but you can write it in your journal as well. And like here, you can write down like, okay, I did it this day, this day, this day, or like you can put how many minutes you practiced, or if you just did the warm-ups, or if you worked on your song, however many details you want to put. I can take a quick glance and see exactly what's going on, so you get more bang for your buck out of me. So my dream world would be you stand here in front of a stand and you have your book in front of you and you have a mirror and you're like, you have a good speaker and you're very focused the whole time. But if you have to choose between not practicing at all and just like singing along in the car, I pick for you to sing in the car. Not all voice teachers would agree with that, but that's what I would pick because like we're adults, we have jobs, like this is real life and it's not always perfect, unfortunately. And so you'll want to do exactly what we did here, the siren and the vocal exercises, and we'll read chapter 1 in the green book, and then you can use this song that, I don't know if you two will want to do this or not, but Pam and Isla both wanted to, and Cam will, because that's the breathing exercise. Last week we did the snake. Do you both know how to do the snake? Yeah, and you remember from last time and you count how many seconds with a second hand on a clock. Those are the 2 breathing exercises. So every time you practice, you'd want to do all of these things. I'll maybe divide this into like vocal exercises, breathing, and then this is the song to learn as a group. I'll talk about that in just a second, and then the reading assignment groups will be. So it's kind of like 4 categories that we'll be doing as a group, I guess. Make this easier to read if I can scooch it over. Okay. This is me, which I put in the text group, is what Riley is going to sing for the August recital. And Riley's going, it's the Bearded Lady song from The Greatest Showman. And so Riley's going to sit at the piano and sing. And the choir, which will just be whoever wants to participate, will sing and or dance. So you can sing and dance, or you could just sing, or you could just dance. Do you know that song? This is
I remember it.
Yeah. And Amber, I don't know if you know Amber Serrano Call.
Oh
Yeah, you were in a recital
Yes,
together.
yeah.
I think you maybe had the same first recital at the donut shop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she actually teaches aerobic dance classes, and she knows a routine, a dance routine for the song. And it won't be the whole song because like the first minute would just be Riley, and then the choir will come out. We'll do it at Drury, so I thought we could have 2 lines enter from both sides, cross behind the piano and make a line behind, and then like the singing starts. And there's like some parts where everybody will just be singing all together, and some parts Riley will be singing and the choir will do something else. And then Amber will teach the dance moves. So we have like the rough draft of the Google Doc that I sent last time for it. So you don't have to participate in that if you don't want to, but if you would like to, the more we have at the recital, the better. So I don't know, do you think you would want to do it, Anthony?
I'd at least like to sing.
Yeah, okay. And how about you? Do you think you want to do it,
I
or
don't know.
not sure?
I'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
My motivation has been in the floor recently, so.
You're done
So,
with job.
yeah,
Really? I'm gonna
I
put-
should make the commitment before the motivation evaporates completely.
And we don't know about Dwight because he couldn't come last week, so we'll ask him next time. But so for sure, these 3 from the class want to do it. So probably Amber is going to try to come to Riley's lesson next Wednesday, and then we'll plan either that night or like sometime in July. Amber will come and like show us the moves for whoever wants to participate. So I'd like to start, even if you don't want to do it for the recital, you can kind of see what to do. So I'll pull up the video, and these are what we've worked out for the lyrics so far. If you have the link to the Google Doc, you can pull it up on your phone and follow along. If you don't have the link, I can send it to you right now. But so it's like, this will be Riley alone, and we'll start here, which is about a minute in. So I'll just start the video there. And this is the playlist that has lyrics and then the karaoke. So the karaoke is nice because it has just choir part, basically, because it's just the backup singers and the instruments. So this has the lyrics and the singer. And we're going to start. So you can look at the screen if you want to see. And if you just sing along and you listen the best you can. Just a second.
And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
Anyways, that's the idea of it. So this is what we have so far, like as far as like something you can look at and see what to do. But Riley's gonna make sheet music for it, and so we'll actually be able to like see exactly what the notes are, and Riley will probably make a track for the choir to practice along with. I would guess that will be perfect. But this gives like some little bit of a roadmap to practice with for now. So I know for sure Ken won't know this information, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating something I probably said to the two of you, but the August recital, the theme is movie night. The dress code idea is like old Hollywood glam, not a costume, but something that evokes like the character that sang the song in the movie that you are singing. So like, for example, she's gonna sing part of the role from The Little Mermaid. So like a mermaid cut dress, like in seafoam green, and like a tiara that's like a sea witch inspired, and like the seashell necklace, you know. So like really glam. It's not like wearing a mermaid costume, but like it does make you think of the character, right? And so everybody will be wearing hopefully these really cool, shiny, like sparkly outfits under the big lights at Drury, you know, and just not matching, kind of like in the video. So everybody will be doing their own thing, but it will still, I think, look cohesive because everybody will look pretty fancy. And so whatever you're wearing for your solo, you could just wear for that. Or if you aren't going to do a solo, like I know you're like, I haven't done a recital in who knows how long, I'm just going to be in the chorus. So, and that's part of the point. It's like, it's a chance to like get your feet wet if you don't want to do a solo. But if you do want to do a solo, I would love that. Oh, we added writing program notes for each recital, which is like this. So I think I'll show you the ones from last recital. Do you know what program notes are? Ken, that sound familiar? It's kind of like when you go to a play or like a college level recital. So, like this was the last one. So we can pick whatever recital picture you like best, or if you have a different one, and then it has like your bio and then program notes and just like a little bit of research about the song. So in this case, you want to say what film or films the song has been featured in, or if it was written for a film, or if like your costume is supposed to evoke a memory of a certain character. Like, so you can or you could say like about the composer, like, oh, is it a film composer who's really famous or whatever. You want to like bring out the movie part of the song since that's the theme of the recital, and it's August 24th. And I think you would be the only one who doesn't have a flyer, so I'll send that to you really quick. Again, it's optional.
Is that-
You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But
Was the movie theme like from a specific era, or was
No,
it just any?
so it's a pretty open theme, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think it is cohesive enough
yeah.
and a little bit of a boundary to like make you have to think creatively about like,
A lot of us will end up picking show teams.
and you can because most musicals are like been made into movies. So
I'll sing Dune.
that was
I'm
a
not really
great
gonna do
movie.
that. It's great.
Space Jesus Messiah.
Yeah,
I
right.
feel like
Yeah, literally.
I like
yes.
watched that movie and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is incredible. And then I was like reading the books. But so, well, audiobooks.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't really
still,
read
that
like,
counts.
paper books anymore.
That counts.
Yeah.
You're like me.
I listen to, yeah.
Listen to 'em.
but I listen to the audiobooks. Whew, even better than movies.
Yeah.
But, so if you're doing the group class, you can do the recitals and you can do a solo, or we will probably learn group pieces for most of them too. So, which we already talked about Isla's, but we need to talk about yours. Isla's goal is to sing a solo in the Christmas recital, and she wants to sing Way in a Manger, and so we picked a demonstration track and a karaoke track last time, but, and Pam picked the Christmas song as well, and they're just gonna do the chorus for August. So we need to plan a date for your singing your solo in front of the class before Christmas. And then if you two want to do the August recital, we would want to plan a date for those solos. Oh, and Ice Cream Social is coming up before that. So if you decide you want to move forward with like doing the group classes, you could do that too. You did that last year, right? And so I'll send you that as well. So all I ask is, if you're doing the movie night recital, please, I want your movie night recital solo to be a part of your Ice Cream Social playlist. So we're working on the solo now, and it's really well prepared for the movie night recital. So Isla, yours won't have to be till like pretty long from now because you've got till December. So what if like we did yours one of the Wednesdays in November? Would you feel okay with that?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I think, what is Thanksgiving, the third or the fourth week?
It is the third week this year.
The 19th? That's so
No,
weird.
I'm sorry, the fourth week.
Oh, the fourth week, okay.
Yeah.
So would you rather do like the 5th, the 12th, or the 19th? What do you think? You don't care?
I don't care.
Let's do the 5th, because that'll be right after probably the Halloween recital is over, but it's pretty far away, so we'll say November 5th for Isla. Oh, and you and Amber need to practice your duet in front of the class before Ice Cream Social. And she said pretty much any Wednesday should be fine as long as she knows ahead of time to be sure she has childcare, because I want you to do tonight for the Ice Cream Social, if that's okay. So we won't have lessons the first week of July because of summer break, so we could do the 18th, the 25th, the 9th, or the 16th. Which one would you rather think?
What is 2 weeks from now? That was the space in between, right? You said. So
Yeah,
the
this is
25th is
what
off.
we will be off.
Okay, the second.
We
So
have
I'd
the
probably say 25th.
25th? Okay, so June 25th for tonight. And hopefully if you and Amber could coordinate to practice beforehand, so you,
So you want this to be like a
It's been a
test, like a.
yeah, we'll
an
do
actual-
like we did last semester. You will perform and we'll all give you feedback
I'll probably
afterwards.
tell you we need to go a couple weeks after that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if that's the case.
It's okay if it's not perfect, but it is kind of like a nice soft deadline. Can you come June 25th and perform your duet for the class with Anthony, ? And maybe the two of you could find a time to practice together beforehand just to brush up your parts. And then, okay, Anthony, movie night solo. I had down that you were thinking of doing on the street where you live. Are you
Yeah,
still kind of
sure.
thinking that?
I think it'd probably be, yeah.
Just to like keep the pressure down a little bit
Yeah.
since your whole job is new to
Yeah, I really hate it too. Not necessarily the job, yes, but the,
life right now.
well, yeah, I like having the motivation to like go out and do it. I just don't want, I like having the free time, I don't know, not being exhausted at the end of the day so I can do some
Yeah.
of this stuff. So
Yeah.
I'd like to commit to a little bit more,
So we'll put that. You want to do ice cream social as well?
but I would really like to, yeah. My
It's okay
set
if you
list,
do a shorter set list this year.
yeah. I had a couple of songs I was thinking I'd really like to kick on, but like 2 new ones.
Okay. This is from last year.
Yeah,
So
they're all great.
is it okay if I add on the street where you live?
Sure. And then,
I've shared this so you can even edit it
okay,
at home if you want to. But what day do you want to do your performance of On the Street Where You Live for the class?
the 9th.
So July 9th?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ken, do you need to think about if you even want to do the class or if you want to do any of the performances, or do you like kind of already know you want to move forward and we should pick a date?
I'm not sure yet, because I wanted to talk to you about
Okay.
what Thursday's class entails too. so-
Oh, I could tell all of you. I'm so excited. So tomorrow will actually be the first class. I was nice enough to be willing to wait for this week because nobody else could come last week, and I'm like, So this class, it doesn't really. Well, I mean, I want you to come every week to this class, of course, but it's kind of like not so linear in nature,
Mhm.
right? Like they're vocal exercises. You can do any vocal exercise pretty much any time, and it's going to probably be pretty good. But this is the textbook and workbook pair we'll use for the Thursday class. It's called the Artist's Way.
Mhm.
So this will be more like if you're going to be sporadic in attendance, this would be the better option. It's okay if you miss. I'm not like going to be mad or anything. It's just you'll derive the most benefit if you're pretty consistent with this, because there will be assignments to do every week between lessons. So this is a very direct vocal techniques class to improve your skills as a singer and to prepare performances in a group setting. And so you don't get as much like attention as you would in a private lesson, but like if there's not a time open that's convenient for you to do private lessons, or if you are like short on cash and you can't afford private lessons, or if you don't want as high of a commitment level as what I probably would demand from you for private lessons, this is a great option to keep you engaged, and you can keep performing and you can keep improving, but it's like not as much pressure as private lessons. This is an indirect, like a holistic or backdoor approach, because this can be used by any artistic person. So it doesn't have to be music. You could be an actor or a painter or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is about defining your artistic vision for yourself as an artist and prioritizing your life around those goals and discovering what those goals even are. So I went through this partly, I didn't make it all the way to the end, with a couple of my friends who are also voice teachers a couple of years ago. And I tell you, like, it was transformative for me. I feel like it like blew my life up. And I really wanted to go through the whole thing. And honestly, that's why I'm doing the class, because I was like, I will have accountability from the class to keep going with it myself.
Sure.
And I will provide accountability for all of you as well, right? In a gentle way, hopefully. But without the accountability, there isn't much value. And so it's like I'm not really teaching you. You teach yourself, but I'm like facilitating the environment for the growth to happen. And so, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to put into words.
No, it makes sense.
But so that's why I called it an artist development class. And we'll probably also address some things like your social media presence and like the photographs and videos we would want to use for your social media presence. If like gigging is a goal you have, like making money off of your music, or and that might not be your goal, but like those are the kinds of things, especially if we get through the whole book, like there's I have so many things I would love to do with all of you and harness our power as a group to increase each other's social media engagement as for like your musician page.
Sure.
And if you don't have one yet, I could like establishing that would be like a thing I'd be happy to help with.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, does that make sense or like not at all? So there will be reading assignments every week and journaling. Journaling is a huge part, which is an evidence-based practice, but that's a very big part of this is journaling every day and like basically using the journaling as a way of conversing with yourself to direct yourself. And then there are certain projects called artist dates that you have to do periodically as well. So the journaling is supposed to be like literally every day, but none of them are perfect, but that's the goal. And then the artist dates are not every day, but still regularly happening, which is like a time, it's a date with yourself that you set aside and you have like certain objectives you're supposed to be pursuing with those. It's like a very discovering your creativity and your inspiration and like using that and your passion as a guide to lead you forward as an artist. And honestly, I felt like as a person too.
Yeah.
So any questions about that?
Can I have my book?
Yeah. Yeah, these are I think $30 for the set.
Oh, I only paid Jeff 25.
Oh, that's fine because I had done the math wrong.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine. It's
Okay.
close enough. I don't have a distributor deal for those, so I just ordered a bunch of them from Amazon.
Okay.
I just wanted to like.
Also,
I forgot about the tax because they don't show the tax,
Oh.
but it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
well, I also owe you for that book as well.
Yes. Okay. So I put that in the top of the Google Doc. I just figured out the tax. That one, if you just get the book, because you already have the journal. So the
Yeah.
two of you, if you just want to get the book, it's $32.47 for the green book alone for this class. Okay. So we still have a little more time left, but I did want to like kind of talk about that. Any questions about the Thursday class?
No, it sounds like more up my alley right now, so.
So would you rather do the Thursday class
Mhm.
and not do this one because you have? I would think
Yeah.
coming to both would be kind
Yeah.
of hard. So maybe not performing right now, but doing this class on Thursdays. Okay, that's too bad because I really do want you to perform, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's not about what I want. It's about what you need to do. Okay, let me go through these boxes and make sure. So we won't schedule you for anything. You both want to do. This is me. We talked about that. And then Dwight isn't here. Oh, I had two questions. This actually is for you too, because this is for both weeks or both days of the week. So part of my vision for these group classes, which actually was inspired by the work I did in this book, is I have felt so inspired by doing more collaborative work in my studio where students are working together, kind of like writing a song, right? And like the Christmas recital where we have like a choir and stuff like that. But I'm like, oh no, I have a baby now. And so before I would be like, we'll just practice 3 hours after I finish teaching and go till I feel like we're done or whatever. We'll do the weekend. I don't care. But now I'm like, okay, I can't do that for free because I'm stealing from my baby if I do that.
Absolutely.
And also, like, it kind of stinks if you're already paying like $1 gajillion for voice lessons, and you're like, I don't want to have to pay extra for these rehearsals, right? And so it's like, how do I make it fair for everyone? So part of my thought is these classes can serve as rehearsal times for when we have recitals coming up and we're working on a group class. So I just want to confirm that that is okay with everyone, including the Artist's Way class, like sometimes, because that way 2 hours every week is built into my schedule for group work. I am being paid for it, you are paying for it, and hopefully you kind of have that time set aside on your schedule, so it's not even like so demanding like last Christmas when I just like was so disorganized and everything because my personal life kind of being crazy for a little bit there. And so we're like having all these random crazy rehearsals during everybody's private lessons. So it's like 6 to 7, Wednesday, Thursday, that is our rehearsal time. and it's set aside, it's paid for, and hopefully people kind of have it in mind like that's going to be blocked off for their own schedules. Does that make sense, and does that seem fair?
Absolutely.
And then the second thing, because I kind of had talked about that part already, but I was thinking about this. If people who are not enrolled in the group lessons, but they are enrolled in private lessons, say you're gone on vacation and and you, I don't have a spot where you can come for a makeup lesson. If people wanted to come to this class and they'd already done their free complimentary visit one time, would you be okay with them coming to the class as a makeup class for their private lessons?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be paying for the time like you are. Does that make sense? Is that okay?
They kind of had, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's fine for everybody to do, but I was like, I should probably ask the people who are gonna be paying tuition though, if you're like, okay with that. I won't be going through this, like all these projects and the accountability and stuff with them,
Mhm.
but just like they could come, they
get
could
an
see the
opportunity
exercises.
to get- yeah.
Yeah, better than just like not getting any time in at all, so,
Right.
okay,
That makes sense.
great. Any questions about what you're supposed to do this week? Okay. You can't come on Thursdays, right? You're just coming to the Wednesday class?
I can come tomorrow to check it out.
Okay, great. And, can you come tomorrow, or it's too
Can't
hard to
come
come
tomorrow,
twice?
but, yeah.
Sure,
Kinda hard for
okay.
me to drive up 2 days in a
Yeah,
row,
oh,
so.
dang it, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I'll do the live stream on
Okay,
YouTube.
that's
Maybe,
good.
could you follow along, you
Yeah,
think?
yeah,
And I'll make a playlist for both classes that has the live free tweak. So even if you missed the class that week, you could follow along if you wanted to.
perfect.
Do you want to take the books with you?
Sure.
And I need to write down who's taking books so I remember who should pay me later, because there's a clipboard around here somewhere where I've been doing that. Here you go, you can cost one. I think everybody else already has. Okay, so Ken and Anthony have Artist's Way. So it's $30. You can like send it on Venmo or whatever. I'll bring it next time you come in person,
Mhm.
please. And if you do the class and you're not taking private lessons, it's $75 a month. If you are taking private lessons, it's $65 a month. And if you want to be taking private lessons in addition to the group classes, tell me, because I'll put you on the private lessons waiting list. And then your group lessons tuition would go down once you have a private lessons. Okay?
Right on.
Any questions or help you need for the upcoming week?
Excited about tomorrow.
I'm so excited for tomorrow. Oh, and I'm doing like a little interview on Color 10 on Friday morning, and then one on Arts News for the
Oh,
next
yeah.
Friday about the classes, because it's like if we don't have kind of a little bit of a group, it won't feel like a class. And
Right.
summer is so hard for me to start things, but that's the only way I could get the slots like lined up back to back so we could have an hour. I'm like, we need an hour. I can't do
Oh,
these
yeah.
in a half hour. So like I have 2 seniors graduating, and I'm like, so I hope we have enough steam for me to financially be able to do the group classes and for them to feel interesting and engaging for everybody.
Mhm.
So if anybody wants to come to the Color 10 one to share about your thoughts about the class, let me know. It'll be like at 8:30 on Friday morning. We aren't gonna do singing, just they're gonna interview
like-
me about it. So
Okay, so it's just, you're looking to get like a group of people who will go to that?
maybe like one person or something, but it's okay if nobody else wants to come. But like if you felt like coming, only if you're excited about the classes, not and if you're like kind of a talkative person. So you
And
know
what,
what it's like.
Friday?
'Cause Friday at like 8:30.
This Friday?
I think. Yeah, this
Oh,
the 13th, because this is yeah.
Yes.
So I'll do like most of the talking, but like if
I would totally have loved to have gotten off of work that morning.
I
So-
know it's a rough time, but like the morning show just works so much better for me, because otherwise
of
in the
course.
afternoon I always have to reschedule
Yeah.
lessons if I just do afternoon ones.
Sure,
In the
yeah,
morning, it's annoying to get up that early, and I'm always like, I apologize to everyone watching this for my morning face, but but tune in to Color 10 if you feel
Yeah.
bored and don't have anything going on in the morning. Okay, so we'll see you virtually tomorrow, hopefully, Ken,
Okay.
and then we'll see both of you in person. Oh, so excited. And just, you can tell me tomorrow if you decide you want to do the class, and I'll order the book for you. But you could probably borrow my textbook for the week if you needed to. Because I
Okay.
have those already, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, great, thank you so much for coming.
No,
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Heather.
especially Ken, because you get the farthest distance of work. You come
Well, I've always enjoyed the
Yeah,
classes. so-
Aw,
Crazy wild.
I feel bad you have to come so far,
Oh,
and the
it's okay.
gas money. Let's see.
It's okay.
Gives you an opportunity to speak, you know?
I can see
I
you.
love that. Yeah, of course, absolutely, absolutely.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I love, right?
I was gonna tell you, Ken, You remember that guy? Oh, Pam just got off work. Hi, Pam. Everyone, make a sad face at Pam so we see how much we miss you, Pam. But tomorrow we'll see Pam. That's so nice that she tuned in.